Hey, this is Paul from Guitar World, and what we'll be looking at today is a very cool addition to the mini amp stack world, the Egnater Rebel 20 and Rebel 112X speaker cabinets. The Egnater Rebel 20 is a fantastic sounding mini amp head. It comes with some special features not found on amps of this size. What makes this particular amp unique is that it has two different controls here, which allows you to vary the tube mix and the amount of watts. Now this, of course, being a Rebel 20, it's a 20-watt head, and it's powering these two 112X speaker cabinets with Celestion Elite 80 speakers, which are particularly voiced well for this amp head. Now going back to the main controls of this amp, what makes this amp unique, of course, it comes with a duet of 6v6 tubes and EL84 tubes. So with the controlled tube mix, you are allowed to basically use both the 6v6 tubes or the EL84 tubes, or a combination of both, or should I say a mixture of both, which gives you some great chimey high end from the EL84s, and then the very soft and compressed 6v6 tubes on the other end. Now, of course, another great feature about the Egnater Rebel 20 is its watts knob control, which allows you to vary the amount of wattage to this amp. So you can run this amp at its full 20 watts, which is great for practice and even a small club. So it's a really loud amp. Or you can bring it down to bedroom levels and drop it down to 1 watt by simply turning the knob counterclockwise. You have your standard controls for master, EQ, treble, middle, bass, and gain. And over here we have two mini toggle switches, one for bright and one for tight. And you'll get to hear how those two switches work later. But let's get on to it. Let's hear how this incredible amp sounds. All right, let's begin. I dialed the watts down to 1 watt, and I got the tube mix all the way on the 6v6 end of things. Pretty much set the EQ flat and the gain at about 3/4 of the way and master up. Let's hear what that sounds like, which is a really nice overdriven sound. Now let's do the same bit of riffing, and this time I'm going to dial it all the way onto the EL84 side so you can hear the difference between the tubes. Let's hear that same difference again. This time I will play between the 6v6 and the EL84, now on a cleaner setting, so you get to hear the chiminess of the EL84 and then a little bit of the compression of the 6v6. Take a listen. Sticking with the same setting, what I'm going to do is I move the watts all the way up to 20, and I'm going to let you hear the EL84 and 6v6 sound again, starting with the EL84 and bumping it down to the 6v6 on the same setting. Here we go. So as you heard, bumping up the wattage really adds a bit of hair to this amp. And of course, the tube mix sounds even more apparent. So now let's play with the bright and tight switches. I'm going to dial up the gain a bit and let you hear that. Now, right now, it's off. I'm going to hit the bright switch, then I'm going to hit the tight switch. Well, let's hear what that sounds like. Even at the full 20 watts, the sounds are crisp and sweet. So let's hear what that sounds like with the gain dimed. Here's what the amp sounds like with the gain dialed back a bit. I turned up the master, and I have the tube mix a little bit more on the 6v6 side. So let's take a listen. Sticking with the exact same settings I had at the full 20 watts, I've dropped it down to about half, and automatically the character of this amp changes. So let's take a quick listen to see what that sounds like. The Egnater Rebel 20, along with the 112X cabinet, is the warmest and most focused sounding amplifiers in the low wattage category. Along with its Art Deco looks, this amplifier is ideal for the club to the bedroom. Check it out.